so I've got my repair panel in here now. It's all cut out. We've got a couple of drill through places where I need to plug weld, but this section here and down the inside of there where that strengthening piece is inside, that can all be spotted. I've still got to make up a closing section for the top, but it's all looking good. Let's just get it on it and get this. This is quite a big piece, quite a complex piece to weld in as well. The first bit of this, if you've not welded before, what I typically do with a big panel like this is just get a few tacks in places, because if you start welding one area, it will start to distort and come out of shape in other areas. So I tend to just get some tacks in, quite a few, to hold everything in place, get all the gaps right, get everything aligned before I finally sort of seam weld it all in. We are out of gas again. Right, so that's that Flitch panel in now. Like I say, it's a complex piece of welding. I did manage to get right up the very top up there. Bit of a combination of going from the inside and going from the outside. So that's solid all the way up to the windscreen, which is cool. I did remember to weld the bottom here, because if you're watching the time lapse, I hadn't done that bit. But yeah, seam welded along the bottom. Quite handy being able to spot weld these bits. Again, obviously in here, I'll just give it a lick of paint. I managed to retain, or I kept the tabs for the carpets, and I've spot welded them back in the right places. That's my bit up the top. So I managed to get right up there. So that's good, complex bit of welding that. I now just need to put I need to remake this lip round here, which I'm just going to cut off that old spare repair section I've got, and I'll probably just spot it, and then I'm going to put the closing panel in, and then I think I'm probably going to be doing a bit of mechanical next, so the front end will be ready to go back on, but I need to do the knuckles. I've got some rubber donuts which I think are better than the ones in there. They're the rear rubber donuts off TARDIS, so the rear ones generally don't squash down as much, and TARDIS was very low mileage, so I'm going to repurpose those rubber donuts. I think I was going to buy high lows for the front, but again, by the time it's posted, it's 45 quid. It's an extra 45 quid on the budget, so I'm going to get this apart at the front. Donuts, knuckles, swivels top and bottom, brake hoses, do the same on both sides, then the front end should be ready to go on. Right, sorry, can't quite remember where I got to, but I've welded in this extra section at the bottom of the scuttle panel now. I'm literally just waiting for paint to dry at the moment. I've put the blanking plate back in. I've actually riveted in because there was no captive nuts on the repair panel, so rivets are fine, to be honest. And I'm literally, yeah, like I say, just waiting for paint to dry. So as you can see, I've whipped out all the front drive assembly and the front suspension donut, and that is because, one, I'm going to be replacing these swivels, top and bottom, I think, although, well, I'll do them both. What's the point in messing around? But this was the one that I showed on the video that was just loose, so that's not great. The brakes themselves are fine, although we just give them a clean up. Top arms, there was no play on the top arm, but look at the state of these rubber bushes. Yeah, so they need replacing. There was no play in it, and the pin looks okay, which is good. That's the suspension cone off the car. Yeah, as I say, the knuckles dry because the ball joint had been split. But what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to fit some second-hand donuts. Oh my god, I can hear you say, but look at these. So can you guess which one's the old one? In fact, look how it looks. It's lopsided as well. It can't have been seated in properly. But yeah, that's the old one. This is one of the ones off Project Bruce. It's one of the rear ones. So like I say, they don't take as much weight, the rear ones. They tend to not wear out as quickly, but I put new ones on Bruce. So we're going to put these ones on, sorry. Yeah, this is off TARDIS, so we're going to put these ones on Project Bruce. But yeah, that, looking at it, that you can see it wasn't seated. It wasn't seated correctly in there. So that must have been a rough old ride, mustn't it? So I'm not going to film this. If you want to see how to replace swivels, I've got some videos in the back catalogue. So I'm just going to do that. Obviously I've got a new brake hose to go on as well. Right, so it's the end of a pretty busy day today. I've been on it all day. Don't feel like I've got that much done though, to be honest. Although, I suppose to be fair, I've got all of that Flitch panel welded in, closing panel in at the top, everything done, the blanking plate back in, the suspension assembly this side. So I've done the top and bottom swivels, I've taken the shoes off, cleaned them up, put them back in, adjusted all the shoes up. We've got the new brake hose on there. We've got obviously the new suspension donut in. We've got the new suspension knuckle. The top arm, I've just cleaned out the bearings and cleaned off the pin, put it back in and re-greased it. There was no play in that. The closing panels in at the top of the scuttle now. This blanking plate's in. It's seam sealed where it needs to be. All the inside now is just pretty much ready for paint. Yeah, so that is really, I guess, well, I need to do the same on the drive line on the other side now, and then I need to drop the subframe down so I can get the bushes, these bushes in, and then it'll be ready to start putting the front panels back on.